stay. Like, I would just be like, do you know what? Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I would too.
If I heard that the guy that is in half the episodes with half the lines was getting $20 million and they won't even negotiate a contract with me, I'm out.
Yeah.
Personally, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, she had, if you looked, I'm sure somebody's done this. How many words did she say? How many words did Daryl say?
Yeah. Get paid by the dialogue.
I mean, if he had 5 things to say all season long, I'd be surprised. And, not that no knock on Norman Reedus. I actually have come to understand that man's charisma. But
he smells
he
so
does.
good.
Oh, he does smell really great. And because yeah.
Oh my God.
To not, so I'm totally like backtracking on all this female empowerment stuff, and I'm getting all girly about, just get within a few feet of Norman Reedus and I get all girly.
Yeah.
You totally get it.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't understand it until I was standing next to him, and he's like, come over here, darling, and he put his arm around me. I was like, oh my God, I get it now. Okay.
I didn't understand it till I found out about his incredibly cute relationship with his little black cat that he has. And I was just like,
eyes in the dark. Yeah.
Oh, men and kitties.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just
women and kitties.
And just to be
basically.
fair, also, I don't know this to be true. It's not like I know any type of inner workings or what the actual contracts and things that were signed. But to be fair, they are trying to stress that, they're kind of, I know it all kind of came out that he's getting this $20 million. And, when Lauren Cohan was kind of being left in the dirt, she hadn't even had her contract negotiated, and they're touting that they've given him $20 million and he's supposed to take over the lead. In all fairness, what we're being told, even though, we don't know yet because we haven't seen the season, is that they're like, you know what? No one is taking the lead in the show. They're trying to keep this as a collaborative effort, and everyone is taking the lead and kind of trying to, because they're like, no one person can fill Andrew Lincoln's shoes, and so everybody is stepping in. So to be fair, because I totally agree with y'all, if all of that is true, and with what if he's getting the $20 million and it turns out he is going to be the lead, that's totally going to piss me off, because I think that Lauren Cohan did totally get shorted out, and I was pretty pissed about that as well. But so we can be fair and not knock the males or anything, because we don't want to do that. There are lots of good guys out there. Let's just wait. I'm trying to keep an open mind about the whole thing, and hope that what they're saying is true. Because I don't know. I feel like we've kind of been led astray sometimes when they tell us, oh, the season's going to be so fantastic and it's going to be great. Wait till you watch it, and then all of a sudden you see it. Or at least for me, in my experience, I'm totally let down. So I'm going to keep an open mind again. Walking Dead. Powers that be.
I can appreciate what you're saying there. I think it was just maybe for me the 1-2 punch of the killing off of the female lead on one show, and then the news about and I don't know if he got the money. All I know is that a contract was trying to be renegotiated. Kari Payton was the only male that publicly came to her defense.
Yes,
yes, Kari.
And so there was just all these little things that were just adding up into something. Something is askew here, and it didn't sit right with me, like in my heart.
Yeah, and that's totally valid. Totally get it. I'm trying to be balanced.
But I see what you're saying, and I totally agree. I see what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying, and I wouldn't. And I don't knock Norman Reedus for it. I mean,
heck yeah.
Well, if you could get paid.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I don't know if this counts as a spoiler or not. Don't listen for the next 10 seconds if you don't want to know anything about season 9. They've cast a couple of fairly well-known people in season 9, people with quite big careers.
Yep.
And I find that really interesting because The Walking Dead has shied away from that a little in the past. Like, it's made big names out of the people in it.
Yeah.
But it tends to be maybe TV stars. But one of the characters...
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, one of the characters is from an actor who's just been in the most recent Fantastic Beasts film, which is quite a big worldwide film. And then there's also Samantha Morton is joining the cast, and she's been a well-respected actress for... She was also in Fantastic Beasts, actually. They've just kind of gone into the Harry Potter franchise and just taken, whoever's there. But I thought that was quite interesting that they've gone down that route. I wonder if that does mean they're leaning more into an ensemble. But I guess we'll see.
Woo! Well, Michael Cudlitz, from what I know, Michael Cudlitz was almost not cast because they thought he would have been too big of a name for the show
Really?
at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw an interview with him, and he said he almost didn't get the role because they thought he might have been too familiar of a face to join the cast.
Interesting.
And I can't imagine anybody else, Abraham.
No, he's perfect in that. I mean, they do cast well. Like, there's rarely been a casting where I've been like, that's not them. Apart from maybe Andrea. But it's, there's stuff. Yeah, generally I would say they've picked people who are very true to those roles, particularly from the comic books. And it's interesting to me that they're being less shy about casting people who are more established. So I don't know what that means or what it nods to or what's going to happen with that, but it's quite interesting.
It is.
I'm excited because it looks like a totally different role for the guy who played Jacob Kowalski in Fantastic Beasts. Like, I can't figure it out in the previews but it doesn't look like he's going to be some happy-go-lucky, I like being in a suitcase kind of guy.
Yeah, he looks. I just love baking. Yeah, he looks kind of. It's Dan Folger, right, or Fogler? I'm not sure if it's Folger or Fogler. Yeah, I think he's a pretty interesting actor, so I'm intrigued to see. He doesn't fit with any of the kind of easily recognizable types. I don't think. He doesn't look like an evil Negan. He doesn't quite look like a sort of leading man, Rick Grimes sort of thing, but I'm interested to see where he fits into it all as part
But he also doesn't look like somebody that's going to be like in the background.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm
excited he's what I'm looking forward to the most, I think, in this upcoming season is where he's going to fit, just because, Lucy, I'm like you. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I'm excited.
Yes. My dream is that Andrew Lincoln will now get a role in one of the Fantastic Beasts films because he is such a Harry Potter fan. Like, he loves it. I read this interview with him about how he was so happy to be narrating Quidditch through the ages because his kids really like it and he likes doing all the voices. And I was like, just come and be young Dumbledore or something.
Yeah, he has to be like one of the last British actors to not be in the Harry Potter franchise, right? In some form.
He said he thinks he's the only one.
Yeah, he's like the last one standing. So they need to utilize him when he's free now.
It's a funny thing with Maggie and Rick. Actually, this is a question. Again, listeners will probably shout. Do we know that Lauren Cohen's definitively leaving, or is it still being kept ambiguous as to, like, she's only in X number of episodes, but she, vague shit.
From the news that I read, they were, and this is coming from her, an interview with her, and I don't have it in front of me, so I can't quote it verbatim, but she had stated at Comic-Con that she said Maggie's story is open-ended with The Walking Dead. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we know she's going to be in a handful of episodes. I don't know if it's only going to be in the first half or the second half, if they're going to sprinkle it out. I don't know of that. Yeah. But she acts like it's going to be open-ended for her. So I don't know if they're, because we know that she's signed on for this other show and it is moving forward. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're hoping.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, really. So, I don't know if they're hoping that she can do both, or that she can come back. I think they're just keeping it open and they're not really willing to commit. Now, I think we've probably heard things like that before, so I wouldn't want to get anyone's hopes up, but at the same time, that's what we know, and that was coming from Lauren Cohan.
Yay! Fingers crossed. Yeah. It would be nice even if we just checked in, once in a while. Yeah. Just check she's doing okay.
Still at the hilltop. Okay, good. Next.
Still at hilltop. How are you doing, girl? You doing well? Good.
So, let me ask you gals another question. Moving on the agenda, if you like The Walking Dead, do you have any recommendations for other things that listeners might enjoy? Recommendations for like kick-ass women. So, I'm happy to go first. I have a couple of recommendations. One of them is super old. The other two are fairly new. So the super old one is a television show that is maybe in my pantheon of the best television shows ever in the history of the universe, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a Joss Whedon production, and he specifically wrote it because he wanted to see what would happen if he created something where the damsel in distress was actually the hero. And we got Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It is an amazing, amazing television show. If you haven't seen it, go back and see it. And if you have a teenager, male or female, in your life, go ahead and show them Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's my
wonderful.
First thing. My second thing is a podcast called Hysteria. And it is on the Crooked Media Podcast Network, and it is an amazing show hosted by the ladies. It's wonderful. A woman named Erin Ryan is the host of the show, and they have a rotating cast of characters, and it's super fun, and it's just great, and it's just women talking. It's awesome. And finally, a book that I read that has blown my mind during the past year, and in fact, we're going to talk about it with our Podcastica family, and that is a book called The Power by yes, it is
I have it on my Kindle right now. I'm excited.
That's our book club.
It's our book club.
I didn't know. Okay, I'm in. All good.
Oh, have you read? Has anybody read it?
I haven't started
Not
it yet.
yet.
No, but it's on my Kindle.
Okay, just to give you a little tease, and don't worry, I won't spoil anything. It is a book that sort of shifts the power dynamic in interesting and fascinating ways, and it is beautifully written. So the language that Naomi Alderman is the author, and the language she uses is, she's a gorgeous writer, and it's so interesting. It held my attention from beginning to end, and it is one of the best books I've read in recent years, and I'm a big reader, so there you go. Those are my recommendations.
Amazing.
Love it.
Rima, what's Europe?
All right. Well, I had a couple here, and they're mostly TV movie related, but I love your book recommendation. That's amazing. I actually, the first time before this even became chosen for our book club, I say it like I'm on there all the time with the book club thing, because I keep forgetting to read the damn book. But I actually heard about this when you first recommended it, and I was really anxious to pick it up. So thank you for that, Karen.
Yay!
So my first recommendation is Game of Thrones. I mean, just in general for these strong female characters, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we're all, do we even have to say it, how big of fans just the four of us are, clearly, of the show?
I've never heard of it.
I've seen your 10-page notes, Missy, so I know better.
Lady Kristen.
I know better, but you know, if you love strong female characters, I know even if you don't watch it, you've heard of it. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I highly recommend it, especially if you're wanting some kick-ass women. And keeping up with the kick-ass women, some oldies but goodies. I love Sarah Connor in the Terminator movies franchise. Linda Hamilton is absolutely amazing. You know, I watched the Terminator way back, the first one, whenever I was little, and then of course Terminator 2 when she came back and she was like cut and badass and you know, just taking names. Loved that. And then Sigourney Weaver in the Aliens franchise as Ripley. I mean, I grew up on all of that. Maybe that's why it sticks with me so much, you know, these strong female characters that I looked up to when I was little, so that's probably why they stick out to me. But if you haven't seen any of those folks, I highly recommend them.
Great recommendations. Kristen?
Well, one of them is a television show. It was probably one of my favorite television shows this year. But it's Colony. Colony just got canceled.
Oh, no. Sorry.
And I am devastated over it. I'm really hoping it gets picked up somewhere else, especially with the way that the show is going. I thought that their third season was their best season that they've had. I can't say enough good things about this show. Josh Holloway and Sarah Wayne Callies are the leads.
They were so
Sarah
good.
Wayne Callies is everything you wanted Lori to be and more. I mean, she's just this awesome woman who takes on, you know, takes on, the resistance movement, and she's still a mom, and she's, and then she's got this partner and this guy named Broussard, who's played by, I think his name's like Tory Kittles or something. But to me, he reminds me of like a young Denzel Washington, almost, just with the way that he like kind of acts and stuff like that. Anyways, the show is so good. If you haven't seen it, which obviously a lot of people aren't because it got canceled. It's so good. And it's on Netflix, I believe. So, the first 2 seasons are on Netflix. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. A book series that I really like is the Graceling series. I don't know if anybody's ever read it.
No.
It's the books, they're called Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue. And it's just about kind of this, it's like a fantasy dystopian, I'd say more fantasy sci-fi, but there's things called Gracelings, and if you have, there's people called Gracelings, and it's all in your eyes, and if you have a different color eyes, it means that you have like these special powers, and it's all about like people that had to try and hide it and then coming into it. And then there's a book called Fire and Bitter Blue that kind of go with it, but Fire it's in the same world, but it's a completely different story, and then they bring both of those stories together in the book Bitter Blue. I haven't read it in a really long time, but it's one of those, when I was thinking about, kind of female driven books, it's this series, and it's all female lead characters, and each book has a separate female character that they all come together in the end. It's very, very cool if you haven't heard of it or read it.
Amazing.
That is great. Graceling.
Writing that down.
Yeah, Graceling. Very, very good.
Awesome.
It's like young. It's like that, genre. It's young adult, but everybody reads it anyways.
Yes. I love the young
Like
adult
Hunger Games.
genre.
I do
by
too.
the way.
I've just gotten back into it, and oh my god, I've missed. I just read Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, which was the film for Love, the book for Love, Simon, the film, and it was so sweet. And another one called In Other Lands by Sarah Reese Brennan, which is kind of young adult, but it's fantasy as well. And I was just like, oh, I need to read more of this. It's so much more
There's
fun.
good stuff out there.
You know what? Hunger Games. That is another young adult series about a kick-ass female.
Yes, Katniss.
Oh,
Kick
yeah.
ass.
Loved
Hunger Games.
And the male
And the
roles.
Divergent books. The Divergent books are amazing. The movies are garbage, but the books are really, really good.
Yep.
Well, my recommendations are, they've kind of changed in the last 10 minutes. I've sort of been sitting thinking about them. The podcast I'm going to recommend is I Love It or Hate It. It's I love it, my partner hates it. It's called My Favourite Murder with Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark.
You're a
Yes.
murderino.
I am a murderino.
Love that podcast so
Me
much.
too.
Right, true crime, people can take it or leave it. But I think for women in particular, My Favourite Murder is really important. And I tweet a lot about why I think that. So that's a long rant for another day. But if you do like true crime and women supporting other women, willing to learn about other women, and a really cute female friendship, it's a really good podcast to listen to.
100% agree.
Yep.
For a show, I was thinking post-apocalyptic. I really enjoyed, sadly it got cancelled just a couple of months back, I really enjoyed Last Man on Earth. I'm a big fan of Will Forte, and there are some really amazing female characters in it as well. It's quite a kind of humorous but heartfelt look at what life would actually be like after an apocalypse. And yeah, if you're into that at all, definitely go for that. Books wise, I've got two. One I've recommended to people in the past, which is The Passage by Justin Cronin. An amazing trailer came out for that at Comic-Con, which I'm very excited about. Jason, hint, hint, we should do a Passage podcast, just saying. And the other one I read, that has been out for quite a while actually, but I'd never actually got around to reading, was Station 11 by, I think it's Emily St. Clair or St. John. And it's, again, post-apocalyptic, set in Toronto to start with. And it goes back and forth between post-virus and pre-virus, and it's just quite a nice read. I read it on a plane journey, I think, and it was just a nice one to kind of take the time away. So if you're into your post-apocalyptic travelling theatre troupe, if those words float your boat, go for that.
Did they make Station 11 into a movie with Ethan Hawke?
They may have. I'm going to
Google. Or am I thinking
that.
of something different? Maybe it's Station 13.
Are you thinking of the station agent?
No.
To be fair, I've already seriously confused myself today with all these bloody Christopher Robin films. I was like, oh, the one with Domhnall Gleeson in it. You're like, no, there's another one. I'm like, what? How many of these are there? It's Emily St. John Mandel. Sorry, Emily St. John Mandel, for getting your name wrong. I don't think it's been made into a film yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's coming up, because it's the kind of thing that's got film written all over it. So I would recommend that to any Z-heads out there.
Awesome. By the way, you mentioned Toronto. I have one quick little Toronto isn't Karen stupid story. I was at a dinner with it was a hockey team dinner, and I was there with an NHL player, a hockey player from Toronto, and I was sitting right next to him at dinner. What am I going to talk to a hockey player about? I don't really know that much or anything about hockey, so I'm like, I'm dying for things to talk to him about. So I said, Toronto, huh? I've always wanted to go there. Did you know? I said, I read a Margaret Atwood book, and she's my favorite author. Ever since then, I've been dying to go to Toronto. You must love Margaret Atwood. She's the toast of Toronto, isn't she? And he looked at me like I had two heads. He's like this 19-year-old hockey player, and I tell him, oh, Margaret Atwood, she's the toast of Toronto, and he's.
I love what she has to say about female rights. He's just like, what?
Oh, my husband loves that. Every time he plays for the Sharks, and every time we see him score a goal for the Sharks, David's always like, there's that Margaret Atwood lover scoring another goal.
Hey, David, you don't know that he didn't go home and read The Handmaid's Tale. You don't know that Karen didn't open up his mind.
He could have opened up a whole new
Atwood's
world
books.
for him.
And he probably read that book and was like, that woman was the weirdest woman I've ever met. If this is what she's reading.
If this is what she thinks Toronto is like.
No, maybe now he's like the ultimate feminist. And he's like, the scales have fallen from his eyes, and he's like, oh my God, there's a whole world out there. It's not just about hockey. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you did a good thing, Karen. I wouldn't beat yourself up.
All right, moving on. Rima, do we have any news this week about The Walking Dead?
We do have a couple of news items. Thank you, Karen. The first one that we have is from Entertainment Weekly. This was taken from an interview with Angela Kang. So let's keep up with the female-centric thing here. She says the goal of the season was not to just pay homage to that character. We're talking about Rick, the character that brought us into the show. Rick Grimes has been somebody that people have loved watching. Just love this character's journey. He is this man who is looking for his family and found them and lost many of them, but has fought on. And I think that's meant a lot to people. We really want to be respectful of that character and send him off in a great way. So that was the charge for us this season. She also notes that the other big job for the creative team in a world without Rick is to continue to, quote, she says, tell the story of the people going forward, because it's never been a story just about this one man. It started with him, but it's always been a story about this group of people that have each other's backs, that help each other survive, that help each other be more human. And that's the story that we'll continue to tell.
We should have invited her on this week.
Oh, we should have.
Yeah, that'd been awesome, huh?
Next time.
All right, the next Women of Podcastica episode, we'll invite Angela Kang on and ask her all about these burning questions.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Okay, what
Do you agree with that?
agree with?
Do you agree with her saying that the show has never been about just the one man?
I don't know if she's referring more to like the show or the comics. I haven't read all the comics, but I feel like from a comic perspective, from what I do know, talking to people who have read the comics, it seemed mostly about either Rick or Carl. It seemed like that's their stories. But I mean, for the show, for me, because that's what I have the more experience with, I kind of do agree a little bit with what she says, because that is a big draw to me for The Walking Dead. Is it's the people, it's this group, especially that core group that we grew to love in the beginning, most of them.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think it's interesting because he was our way in.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is you will always have been taken into that world through Rick's eyes. I think it's the same in lots of kind of major franchises or great stories. You know, the character who's kind of the audience avatar, who's the person who stands in for us, is the one that you become the most attached to. So I think losing that will be quite profound for the show. But for me, in a weird sort of way, I think losing Carl is more profound. Not in terms of the actor, but in terms of the show changing. I think cutting off that line was more of a shock in a way than Rick fading into the distance, if that makes sense. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if what she says kind of comes to pass.
Yeah. So moving on, next quick little item that we have is from comicbook.com. This was taken from an interview with Denai Garcia and Alicia, I don't know how it's pronounced, sorry.
I've given up trying to.
Yeah, I hear it both ways, so I apologize for butchering her name. Alicia Debnam Carey, they're both from Fear the Walking Dead. So Fear the Walking Dead stars Denai Garcia and Alicia Debnam Carey say comedy and unexpected pairings lie ahead in the back half of season 4. I think there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of drama, there's a storm. The stakes are really high. I think for something to be funny, it needs to be very dramatic, very hard to overcome, Garcia says at San Diego Comic-Con. We have to overcome nature, that's hard to do. We have to wait until the storm passes to keep going, and funny things happen. Characters will come up, and they bring so much to the show and a different perspective of how to survive, and that really adds to the second half. It just fills the second half with so much life because we lost so much. Some of those characters will pair off and mix, making for really interesting pairings to come, unexpected pairings that drive a lot of tension, added Debnam Carey. I guess one thing particularly is that because of the loss of Madison and Nick, Alicia is now the only remaining member of the Clark family, she said, and so that allows her to finally be her own person. And I mean, it's a harrowing and awful place to be for her, but it allows her to find her own narrative, which is very exciting. That's it.
It must have been a difficult last half of that season.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, I heard so many great things about the prior season, and Jason was so into it and so excited.
Oh, guys, Jason was a broken man by the end of it.
I think he's still just a little bit broken, to be honest.
I'm like the negative. I don't think either of us is positive or negative. I think I tend to be more picky. But the last episode, I was just like, "Oh my god, Jason, are you okay, man?" He was just like, took it hard. He took it real hard. I don't blame him. Like, the thing is, I know when you're podcasting, sometimes you play devil's advocate. And I think I was doing that a little bit, but it was difficult. It felt it let down the rest of the season. I think what they chose to do in that final episode, and I'm quite sad about it as well, to be honest. Yep. I think it's going to be a different show, but I feel that way about the main show now as well. Is they're both going to be different shows when they come back. Which is scary, but potentially good. I don't know.
I am one of the people in the minority that I love Fear the Walking Dead right now. I love it. I think that the front half of season 4 was my favorite of the entire series.
It was interesting. Yeah.
Great.
That's just me. I've loved it. Every single moment of every single episode.
Well,
I wish that they didn't do what they did.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah.
But it's been great.
As somebody who only saw the first episode of season 4, I loved it. That guy, what was his?
John Dory.
Oh my god, he was wonderful, and I was like, now I'm going to continue just because of that guy.
Yeah, he's
right?
Great.
Yep.
How would you guys feel if it was like Lauren Cohen gets like £200 an episode, but John Dory is just going to turn up and be ambiently around for £3 million an episode? I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine with that. What are you complaining about, Lauren?
See, I just imagine him now just walking on the screen and just walking off. eating candy
in the background.
Meanwhile, like Lauren Cohen's reciting Hamlet and like doing a one-woman performance, and they're just like, "Can you get out of the way? We can't see John."
He is good. I think we're going to see really more good things from him too in this next up and coming half.
And shout out to Lara Willie Swink for designing the John Dory fan club t-shirts, which Garrett Dillahunt himself complimented on Instagram.
Yes, he did.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's how nice of a guy he is.
Any more news, Rima?
That is it.
Beautiful. How about listener moans, groans, and grunts?
Brains. I got some questions for people.
Ooh.
I got some stuff from the Zhead thread.
Nice.
Okay, so there's two kind of serious questions. My lovely pal Derek, who I do comic talk with, and we're like the Brit contingent of that particular show.
I love Derek.
He asks, and we'll do this as like quick answers from all four of us. If you could permanently host another podcasting show, which would it be? And which upcoming show do you most want to cover for Podcastica from episode 1? So start with Kristen.
Definitely Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to do any other show. And you said from episode 1?
Yeah, so like starting a new show right from the beginning, what would we want Podcastica to cover?
Oh, Colony. But I can't do that. Oh. Are you talking about just any new show?
Derek says upcoming show.
Any upcoming? Okay. Well, I would actually really love it if there was a Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yes.
Only because it is so. I'm gonna swear. I don't know if we're allowed to.
No,
on
do
here,
it, man.
It's so fucking hard to get through that fucking show.
Yeah.
That I feel like a podcast would help.
Yes. I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would totally do it with
I'll
you.
guest. We'll all do it. It'll be great.
I would love that.
Oh,
I would love
my
that.
gosh, that would be
Oh my god.
amazing.
You're witnessing the birth of it here, folks.
That would
Derek,
be amazing.
you glorious midwife.
In
What
his
about,
under his eye. Under his eye.
Yeah. He'll look what he has brought into the world.
Yeah.
Karen, how about you? If you could permanently host another, what would it be?
God, now I'm all about the Handmaid's Tale.
We can take that as an answer. I can take that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Rima?
Permanently host another, like an existing or creating a new one? Do we know? Is there different?
Derek just says upcoming show.
So the beauty that exists within co-hosting with my awesome male co-host Sean is that we don't have just like one show that we podcast on, like similar to like Walking Dead and Fear of the Walking Dead in Westworld and things like that. We do multiple shows. So we just picked up Castle Rock, the new show from Hulu that's the Stephen King centric.
Yeah.
So in case anyone doesn't know, I'm going to put it out there, promote us a little. But the beauty of it is that we started out as like our bread and butter, I always call it, is Stranger Things. That's how we started.
Yep.
And it is still Stranger Things centric, and our name of our podcast is centered around that. However, we thought, well, we want to keep evolving and keep going and do different things and kind of keep in that same kind of genre. So the beauty of what we've been allowed to do with the Godfather's blessing is continue on in the Podcastica network with multiple shows. So I kind of already get to do that. So I'm kind of already living the dream just a little bit. I get to talk about multiple things, and I'm,
queen.
Yeah.
You know what?
Rima, I love your Legion podcast
Thanks.
too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show, and it's so much fun to talk about, and Jason and I have a really good time with that. It's amazing. And all the other shows, I'm just happy to be asked to guest sometimes. I am so not qualified to talk about Westworld, no. Forget it. Karen, please, girl, I heard you because you and Jason did what was it, like a summary episode that you guys did on the cast of season 1?
Yeah,
gosh, that was so amazing. Again, the female's perspective, you were so amazing on that. So
Thanks.
I hope that you guessed on that.
You know what?
sometime.
It got more complicated, and
It did.
And it's so different when you're watching it and you're just sort of watching it for fun versus watching it as a podcaster, a potential podcaster. Whole different experience.
Yes. Absolutely. And I respect that, and I totally get that, but I don't And if that's your feelings on it, because you're just, I don't want you to think that you can't do it, because I believe that you could do anything. So, all of us have that faith in you. But if you choose to not do it, that's okay. I certainly wouldn't want to push you to do it, say, oh, you just have to do it. But, because I totally understand that, because I feel it as well. But you can do anything. You're amazing.
Sisters support each other. This is exactly what we were talking about. Sisters do not tear each other down. We are...
Right.
God, this is exactly right, people. Women love each other. And stop telling us that we don't, because we do.
Yep.
Well, and I love that we can even disagree, because Chris and I, we've probably bumped heads a little bit on because we're all of us are very strongly opinionated on things, and we probably bumped heads and maybe not always seen eye to eye with things. And I think that it's okay to do that, and not and I'm glad that we can all do that and not be fearful of, well, now I've pissed someone off, or they're pissed at me, and and then be so catty, that
oh my gosh, it takes so much more to piss me off.
I'm sure.
And then watch out.
But I love that. I love all
and
you
I
guys.
love you.
You guys are
Rima,
all brilliant.
Rima, I love you to the moon and back, man. You are a great, great, great friend to have. I'll tell you that.
Stop it. I'm going to get really emotional.
Well, on that really serious note, we have had one. It's quite a serious and it's quite a political question from the Zheads group. So, I think we just have to pay it the due respect it deserves, guys.
I can't wait for this question.
Right, guys. It's an old kind of political debate question. I believe you have it in America. It's called Screw, Marry, Kill.
Yep, that is true.
And I'd like to thank who's given us. Catcraft has given us some suggestions.
I am not surprised.
The original suggestion came from Megan Dively Lehman. So I'm just going to put a couple out there because, we could go on all night. Insert your own jokes there. Yeah. So, open for discussion. Screw, marry, kill. Merle, Eugene, and Dwight.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Okay, all right, I got it. I would screw Dwight because he seems tender.
Wow.
I would marry... Wait, it was Eugene, Dwight, and...
Merle.
Merle. I would marry Merle only because I'm pretty sure that that's the safest route.
Yeah.
And I would
kill
Eugene. Yeah, he needed to die a long time ago.
He redeemed himself.
No.
Oh! he sabotaged the bullets. Sabotage the bullets. Negan. I know. Everybody needs to have killed Negan. Negan apparently has an invisible bubble around him that he's unkillable. But you know what? That is not just Eugene.
Rick slit his throat, and
I know.
He lived.
It's like, it's just a scratch.
Karen, what would you do with Eugene in that situation? We've got Eugene, Dwight, and Merle on the table, so to speak. What would you do?
I don't think, you know what? It would be really weird to screw him. I mean, that would be weird.
In the self-help section.
I'm going to go with screw just because it's the weirdest answer I could think of. Because that would be weird.
That's amazing.
You're all
very, it'd be very
No,
clinical.
I love it. I love it.
No, I would make him talk to me too.
We're seeing a whole new side, and I love it.
Is it?
Would we? And where would it be? Merle or Dwight that got killed?
Merle.
Yeah,
I'd marry Dwight.
Yeah,
I'd totally marry Dwight. Dwight's a fixer-upper.
Yeah, that's truth.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. Okay. You see how I'm asking the questions here, so I don't actually have to commit to anything. It's really good. Rima, for you, I'm going to give Abraham, Shane, Tyrese.
Why do I get different people? Abraham, Shane, and Tyrese, because I had all this planned out for the other fellas.
Well, tell us your other one then. No, tell us the other, and then we'll move on to
okay. Well, so I would screw Merle. with like probably double layer on the condoms. Because we know that he's had the clap.
Oh no, we do. Yeah.
Yep.
Like factually, riddled with
but
STDs.
I think Merle would be fun. He looks adventurous, and I think it'd be a good time. That'd be a good
only one hand.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm all right with that. As long as you gotta take the blade off. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with the one hand, but I think that would be
no blades in the bedroom.
Yeah, I think it'd be a wild ride in the sheets that night. So I'm okay with that. I would marry Dwight because I really like how his story kind of evolved, and we got to see a lot more of him with his storyline with his wife Sherry.
Yeah. They love each other. He's a good husband.
Yeah, that was touching. I was really touched by so many moments with Dwight. So I would marry Dwight, and I would kill the fuck out of Eugene. So.
Yeah, girl.
I screwed him.
Yes, you could. Yes, after you're done with him, Karen, then yes.
I hope there's some really like men's rights people listening to this, like those damn women. How dare they talk about men like this? And I'm like, yeah, it's not nice, is it? I'm with Rima. I think that would be my. Yeah, I think Dwight. You know, he'd bring the beer and the nachos or whatever it is,
the
tortilla
pretzels.
chips. You know, he'd bring that. He would make you those little like figurines and stuff. It'd be quite cute. You know, you'd probably have a conversation with them. Merle, for the sake of having a story to tell, why not?
Yes.
And Eugene, horrifyingly, I used to date a guy with the same name, so he's getting binned. He's getting put right over the cliff. Sorry. So yeah, that's that would be my choices. The other, I might actually. So Kat's given us 2 trios. And I think you're right. I think the one with Abraham, Shade, and Tyrese is actually too good. So I'm going to finish with the other trio that she gave us, which was dun 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 Negan, the governor, or Gareth from Terminus.
Oh no,
man.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna
screw
go
the hell
right
out of
in.
Gareth.
Yeah,
well,
amen.
No, I would.
Oh my God, have you seen that actor?
Andrew J. West.
I would. Right, I would argue marry him because
you could screw him all the time.
Nowhere does it say that you don't. Yeah.
Because he won't eat you?
Yeah, well, he's so organised. Did you see the way he is with that clipboard? Like, he knows what he's doing. He's a man
very
who has
organized.
his shit together.
Yeah, we could have an organize
So
our
I'm all
closets after we screw him sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, why not? We can. Yeah, I didn't know why you'd even
Be
consider
too tired to
options.
organize.
What about good old Philip with his gilet and his one eye? What would we? Where would you place him on the screw, marry, kill scale?
Oh, he's the guy that I. He's the guy that I screw. Because I'm waiting. Negan is the only guy that I kill. I mean, and the way that I'm killing him is with Lucille.
Yes.
I'm giving him a little Glenn party. Here's a little
and
Glenn
I'm
redemption.
gonna leave him behind for the animals to eat.
Yep. Yes. Little sky burial for you there, pal.
Are we? Is that a consensus then? Are we all the same, or would anyone marry the governor?
He's very authoritarian. If you like that sort of thing,
he's got some. His man cave is very questionable.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He has a
know
duster.
about that.
He used to be a doctor.
True.
I would. You know what? If he was in the Doctor Who realm, I would totally screw or marry him.
Yeah.
Any doctor, really.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm with you on that. Actually.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. And can it specifically be David Tennant?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, by that logic, I would marry Negan because I would change him into Denny Duquette.
Yes.
Right?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Now we're just talking the actors.
I know, but I can't talk about the characters because they're all horrible.
I'm just glad that we managed to talk about something so politically volatile without coming to blows about it.
Thank
So
God.
Thanks, guys, for a really respectful discussion.
We
there.
really have, and I feel that we showed the proper love to the men's in the in the show.
Oh, we love men.
Okay, but I just want to say one thing that we should just all have a moment of silence for Jason Momoa really fast.
Oh. Why? What?
No, because we talked about the men. I don't know. And I'm always thinking about
him.
Okay.
Is it a little moment of silence because you didn't bring him up? So we have to apologize.
Yeah, I just feel that's it. Yeah. That's all.
God, you were
I was Kristen. I feel like it's not been a day unless you've had your Jason Momoa reflective 3 minutes.
He's fantastic.
That's it.
He's
so
he's fantastic in every way. In every particular, he's fantastic.
He just seems like he would be so much fun.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, I would screw, marry, and kill him all on the same day.
and he would love it.
Yeah.
And we didn't even, John Dory just, just appreciation. And what? There's a lot of beautiful women in The Walking Dead as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. Like, oh my God. Got a lot of love for Tara. Got a lot of love for those ladies as well. So.
Polly McIntosh. Love her.
Yeah. She's great.
Amazing.
I might kill her, though.
It depends what kind of mood she was in, I'd be like...
Except now she goes by Anne, so I like her a little bit more.
She's a reformed character.
Who speaks in complete sentences.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
Oh, God, yeah. Exactly. Really? I mean, cute and all that for about a minute, and after that it was just annoying. I think we should do this more. I gotta say it.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah,
me too. So. Agreed.
100%.
Not that we're hinting, Jason, but the women have spoken.
I think he'd welcome the break.
I think.
Speaking of, has Jason come back from the garden yet, or is he still out there? Anyone check?
He's still looking at the flowers. I'll go.
He'll stay.
We'll see.
Maybe before Fear the Walking Dead comes back, but otherwise.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get bit,
Mark Anthony Miranda.